Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Cabaret Maxime, and this is a film from Bruno de Almeida starring Michael Imperioli. And also a few other people from The Sopranos, which was interesting since I'm watching the show for the first time, at least over the past year or so. I watched the first two seasons, and it's interesting seeing all those character actors popping up. But this film is about a man who runs a cabaret. And it's very old school, and then there's a strip club opening up across the street. He's dealing with the keeping his cabaret afloat, the new competition, the other people trying to pull strings to influence things, and him dealing with his wife, who's also the star of his cabaret, who's dealing with a lot of issues. And Michael Imperioli is given the chance to have a real leading performance here that I haven't seen him as a lead in a film before, or obviously in The Sopranos he has a big supporting role, but he's not Tony Soprano, and he does a really fine job. There's a couple reaction shots that I feel like he adds a lot of emotion to. He really embodies his character, and I think it's that he's a middle-aged actor at this point. He's been through a lot, and he really captures that. I've been doing this for a while, and there's a gruffness, there's a bit of sassiness, a cleverness, and he has a really strong rapport with a lot of the other actors in the film. One really strong supporting performance from John Ventimiglia, who plays a chef in The Sopranos. He is the showrunner. He's the one up there leading the show, doing some comedy, and he's a lot of fun. I think he brings a lot of personality to this film. And then you have David Proval and Nick Sandow, who come in as some of the more antagonistic characters in the film, and everyone has great chemistry together. This film, for some reason, de Almeida doesn't quite hit a level of suspense or emotion with some of the things. As the story progresses, it escalates to some places as this film goes on, but I think where the film really works is that it's an interesting dive into the personality of this place, Cabaret Maxime, and you see the performers, and they're energetic, they bring life to the film. I really enjoyed those sequences where you actually get to see the performers. You get to see Michael Imperioli as Benny, who's running this place. And I think the coolest thing about this film is the vintage look it has. Lisa Rinsler, who's the cinematographer, gives it a graininess. This looks like it could have been filmed in the 70s into the 80s. It has that feel of a warmth, darkness, like The Godfather might have. And it has that look to it, and it makes it feel timeless even though we're in present time. It gives this idea of this cabaret was a thing. It's a classic, it's a tradition, and it brings life to it. And that personality, along with the score from Manuel Chico Vieira, who really brings some personality to the film. This is very stylish, just kind of, you're walking in the shoes of this guy named Benny, played by Imperioli, over the course of a couple days, and really experiencing his life. It doesn't get too deep. It goes a little far in escalation later in the film, but I feel like it's an intriguing and enjoyable walk through this timeless kind of venue. And I think that's the most impressive and appreciative thing that you get out of this film. I enjoyed Cabaret Maxime. This isn't a great film, but I feel like it gives a really good experience, cinematic experience, and Michael Imperioli gets a chance to really shine in this film, along with supporting members like John Ventimiglia. So I would definitely recommend this. You can rent it right now on Prime Video. I think this has a lot of soul and style to it that's enough for an enjoyable experience. But those are my thoughts on Cabaret Maxime. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.